Most people focus on what's not working. This isn't going well. This didn't work. I want to remind myself every day of look how many things I was able to accomplish by being clear, by being passionate, by using these rituals. And he asked me one question, and that question transformed my life. And he said, are you interested in achieving these goals, or are you committed? Do you have the right disciplines to set goals, create plans, and achieve them? Do you have the right disciplines to prime your brain with your vision, your goals, and your plans for the day every day? The first thing that you have to ask is, what are your highest values? So for me, for example, my number one highest value is God. My number two value is my health. My number three value is my family. My number four value is contribution to the lives of others. My number fifth value is fun. So every day when I wake up, I think about what am I doing today to connect with God? For me. Yes. Just for me. It doesn't have to be, it's not religious, it's just for me. Then what do I need to do every day to make sure that I'm healthy? What I need to do every day to make sure that my family and my dear close friends who are part of my family, that I have the relationship that's rich. Then contribution. How do I use my passion, my gifts, my stories, my things I've not done well, things I have done well? How do I share that with the world? And in doing that, I feel good. And then I have to have fun. And so if I do those 5 things every day, then at the end of every day, I've had a great day. And if you have a lot of great days, then you end up with a really great life. And that doesn't mean that you don't have ups and downs and things that don't work and trouble that happens and things that come up. But if you keep your focus on what's important, then the rest of the stuff is really inconsequential. And there isn't 100 different things you have to do. There's 2 or 3 things in each one of the areas that's important to you that when you do those every day, you're so far ahead of the curve. So I have daily rituals.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What is your ritual?
So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I do a gratitude exercise where I ask myself, usually in bed, what am I most grateful for today? And usually, I'm grateful for my health, I'm grateful for my wife, I'm grateful for my children, I'm grateful to be alive, I'm grateful, for my family, I'm grateful to have experiences. And
do you do that eyes closed?
Yeah, I do that eyes closed, and while I think about that, I feel it. And so the feeling starts every day with a great feeling. So I start every day with a great feeling.
Do you visualize some things like your children, or do you talk to yourself? How do you do that?
Yeah, I have an internal dialogue. I see images of the things that I'm thinking about, and that just takes me 2 minutes, just 2 minutes when I wake up. And then I go to exercise to take care of my body.
How long?
Usually 1 hour to 1 hour and 15 minutes every day. And so I do a variety of different things. I hike, I bike, I work on aerobics, I work on strength, I work with weights. I do whatever it is, I just do it to give my body the physical exercise. Then as soon as I finish my exercise in my gym.
1 hour and half?
An hour and 15 minutes at the most.
Okay.
So then in my gym, I have 2 things. I have a vision board, which is my dream board for my
You are known for that.
Yes. So I have my vision board for my physique and my body and my health. But then I also have in my gym something called an achieved board.
Okay.
So
what
after
you
I achieved some of the things that I achieved.
Past and future.
No, achieved in the past.
Yes. So past, you have the past and the future. Vision board and achieved board.
So I have in my gym, in my home gym, I have like a place where I sit, and before I start my meditation, I look at my vision board from the past.
Okay.
So I get connected to the different things that I've been able to achieve, and I remember every day when I set my mind and my focus to achieving goals, I can achieve all of my goals. Most people focus on what's not working. This isn't going well. This didn't work. I want to remind myself every day of look how many things I was able to accomplish by being clear, by being passionate, by using these rituals. So before I go into my meditation, which is with my eyes closed, I look at my achieved board. I get emotionally associated with it to remind myself that when I set my mind to achieve something, I can do it. And then I look across, because I have a mirror in the gym, and I look across and I say, I love you just the way you are. And I said, I accept you just the way you are, with all of your skills and passion and faults and insecurities and doubts and fears. I accept you just the way you are.
Wow, it's
And I
powerful.
smile, and then I close my eyes, and I do about a 15-minute meditation.
Wow.
And in my meditation, sometimes I have no thoughts, where I'm just one with the universe and everything.
Centered.
Other times, I'll just follow my thoughts and I'll just pay attention, be mindful of where are they going this morning? Where are they going today? So I'll follow my thoughts and I'll just follow them. Other times, I'll follow a thought and say, release that one. And follow another thought and say, release that one. So I'm teaching my brain that I'm in control of my brain. See, most people don't realize that they are not their brain, that their brain is an organ. No different than your heart, no different than your legs, no different than your hand. And since we're not our brains, we can learn how to use the different parts of our brain. And so I've been doing many, many years of studying on the brain. And if you don't understand the different parts of your brain, that's like having a sports car in your driveway, but you don't know how to turn it on, or you don't know how to change the gears, or you don't know how to put on the radio, or you don't know how to turn the heat on.
Yes, you have a powerful machine, but you don't use it.
You have a powerful machine, but you don't use it. And most people, not because they're dumb, it's because most people have never been taught how powerful their brains are, and for a simple reason that we haven't really known how powerful it is. We've had ideas, we've thought about it, but for the first time in the history of our species, hundreds of thousands of years on the planet, we're finally, in the last 10, 12 years, able to look a little bit inside the brain. And there's more circuitry in your brain than there is in all the telephones connected in the whole world. There's more circuitry in your brain than there are stars. And so when you start to go, wow, there's some real power within me, and if I learn how to use it a little bit better, maybe I could be happier, healthier, wealthier, have more purpose, have more meaning in my life. And when you ask yourself, like, what do most people want? Well, I want to know that my life mattered. I want to know that I'm loved, or at least liked. I want to know that my life has got some kind of purpose, or I don't have a real great existence. And so when you start to realize that you have so many gifts on top of the challenges that we all have, everybody has problems, everybody has things they're insecure about, they don't have confidence around, they don't have certainty, but that's everybody. So the key is to understand that, we have an amazingly powerful tool that creates our reality, and we're able to teach it to look for and find what we want it to create. So reality doesn't exist outside of here. We're in the field of everything. And we can teach our brain to see things that we didn't see before. We can change our habits. We can develop, it's something we call deliberate conscious evolution. So we could deliberately choose to evolve ourselves, where in the past we thought that, you have to wait 1,000 years or 10,000 years or 100,000 years to change. No, that's old school thinking. We can change now. We can change the neural patterns in our brain, the software, just like a computer software. We have, our body is the hardware, our brain is the operating system, and then our beliefs, right, is the software, and our habits are the software that runs everything, gives us the results.
Yeah.
And we're finally learning some techniques and tools to tweak the machinery better. Every one of us is 100% self-disciplined already to our current thought patterns, emotional patterns, and behavioral patterns, which obviously are responsible for our results. So my question for you today is this: do you have the right disciplines? Do you have the right disciplines to set goals, create plans, and achieve them? Do you have the right disciplines to prime your brain with your vision, your goals, and your plans for the day every day? Do you have the right discipline to review your day at the end of the day to see what did you do well? What could be tweaked so that tomorrow is even better? Do you take time on Sunday nights for maybe 30 or 40 minutes to plan your week so that you're not reacting to stuff, but you're planned, you're organized, you're in action that's deliberate versus reactive? That's another discipline. Do you take time every month to review your month? Do you take time every quarter to review your quarter? Do you take time at the end of each year to review the whole year and then to plan your vision for the next year, your goals for the next year? Now, these little disciplines are what I call keystone disciplines, or keystone behaviors and habits that set you up for success. And so I like to consistently ask myself, do I have the right keystone habits, the big things, that swing, the little hinges that swing the big doors? So a couple things I can tell you that really work for me is taking the time to think, to plan, to review my results, and in a state of no blaming myself, no shaming myself, no feeling guilty, no justifying, no wishing I wish it was different or better or this or that, just in a pure state of awareness, I tweak and adjust and tweak and adjust and tweak and adjust and tweak and adjust. And here's what happens. What you'll discover is you're gonna be on course a lot of the time. You're gonna be off course some of the time. But when you take the time to recognize if your thoughts are aligned with your vision and your goals, are your emotions, your things that cause you to take action are not aligned with your vision and goals, are the behaviors that you're taking aligned with achieving those goals? Now, when you're in a constant state of review, tweak, adjust, behave, review, tweak, adjust, behave, that is a self-disciplined action and habit that will lead you to achieve every one of your health, wealth, relationships, career, business, charitable, every goal you have. The how to achieve the goal is the easiest part. Getting yourself to take the inspired action because you have a big reason why you must is really what you need to work on, because we all are going to have challenges. We're going to have failures. We're going to have days we feel like on top of the world, and other days we feel like, oh man, I just don't even feel like getting out of bed. That's okay. That's normal. That's called being human. But if you have the self-discipline to get up and do a little bit, to get up and adjust and tweak, then you win the game more than you lose the game. Think about athletics for just a moment. To make it into the Hall of Fame, for example, in baseball, you will not hit 3 out of 10 balls. You will not hit them. You will not get on base. That means you're failing, so to speak, 7 out of 10 times. But to make it to the Hall of Fame, the best of the best, all you need to do is get on base 3 times. So a lot of people have a misunderstanding of success, and that is that you succeed every single minute, every single hour, every single day. And that's not true. Right? The most successful people in the world are consistently taking action, making sure that it's the right action. If it's not, they adjust. So have the self-discipline to not blame, shame, justify, or make yourself feel guilty. Have the self-discipline to create the plans, take inspired action, manage your thoughts, get into the right state, the physiology, the feelings that you need in order to achieve your goals and dreams. Take inspired action daily. And don't focus on perfection, focus on a little bit of progress every single day. When I was a teen, between the age of 13 to 17, I got into enormous amount of trouble with the law. I did a lot of unethical things, and I was getting myself into so much trouble. And I had one mentor that my brother introduced me to. His name was Alan Brown. He was a very successful philanthropist, entrepreneur, and he agreed to meet with me for lunch one day. And he asked me, like, why are you doing these things? You seem like a nice young kid. And I said, I don't know, I just want to make some money and I just want to fit in. He goes, but you seem like you're intelligent. Why don't you just use your brain's natural abilities? I go, well, listen, based on my education and based on what the teachers have told me, I'm not going to do very well in life. And I left high school in grade 11 thinking that I'm not worthy enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough. And this one man in 1 minute, in one meeting, changed my life. Because he asked me, what goals do you have? And I said, what do you mean, what goals do I have? I said, I want to go out this weekend to the bar. I want to have some good food. I want to find a nice young lady to maybe hook up with. And he says, no, but what are your bigger goals? And I didn't have any. So he actually sent me home. And he said, fill out these pieces of paper. And on the piece of paper, it said, like, what age do you want to retire by? Like, I was 19. This was May of 1980. I wasn't even started yet. I said, but just fill out these papers. So I said, I want to retire by the time I'm 45 with $3 million. I want to have a Mercedes. I want to have a house. I want to travel the world. I want to have a great lifestyle. And so I came back on Monday and he looked at it and he asked me one question. And that question transformed my life. And he said, are you interested in achieving these goals or are you committed? And I stopped and I looked at him. He was standing up. I was sitting at my desk there at his office. And I asked him, Mr. Brown, I said, what's the difference? And he said, if you're interested, you'll do what's convenient. You'll come up with stories and excuses and reasons why you can't, and you'll use your education as an excuse. You'll use your story as an excuse. You'll use the fact your father was a cab driver and was a gambler and never had any money. You'll use all of that as your reasons why you can't. He says, but if you're committed, you will do whatever it takes. You'll let go of your stories. You'll let go of your excuses. You'll let go of all the reasons you currently have that are formulating your identity of yourself. And you'll learn how to let that go and become who you are destined to become.
Why'd you listen to him?
Every one of us has got commitments, whether it's commitments to our family, our friends, our children, our boss, our employees, our parents, our siblings. We all have so many commitments in every area of our lives. Health, wealth, relationships, career, business, fun, experiences, charity. And how are we supposed to manage all of it? And the answer is very carefully. One of the only ways that I have learned how to manage the complexities of life is to compartmentalize the different areas of life and to set up a process of prioritization based on the highest values and the doing the things that have to get done before any of the other things. Now, the reason I bring this up is Harry, who I just had lunch with, as I mentioned, he was sharing with me that one of the things that helped him last year was that I gave him this framework to be able to manage some of the complexities that were happening in his very, very successful and busy life. And the framework I gave him was to take each area of his life and either create, a sheet of paper that he can write on, a whiteboard that he could write on, or even on your computer, and ask yourself, in the area of your, whether it's spiritual health, what is one thing that you can do, if that's important to you, every day or every week to make sure that you can get that done? In the area of your emotional health and well-being, what's one thing that you want to get done? In the area of your mindset, what's one thing you can get done? In the area of your physical body, what's one thing that you can get done either every day or every week or every month, depending on what it is that you want to achieve? And then you do the exact same thing for your business. There aren't 500 different things that you and I have to do. When we focus on the one thing in each area of our life and we get that one thing done, then we're making progress. We're moving the needle down the field. Now, in some areas of your life, of course, there's going to be 2 or 3 things. But when you get it out of your head and onto something that you can look at, you get rid of the neural overwhelm and the emotional anxiety that comes by having so many things that you're trying to think through in your brain. So most people I've found, they don't take any time to plan their health, wealth, relationships, career, business, and they have no order to what they need to do, what they must do, and by when. And so when you structure your behaviors from highest importance to lowest, you'll see that some of the lowest things that need to get done aren't the most impactful. They're not the ones that move the needle. Now, it just takes a little bit of time to sit, stop what you're doing, sit, think a little bit, create some lists for health, wealth, relationship, career, business, fun and experiences, and charity. There's your 7 categories. And then itemize the stuff that you want to get done. Give yourself the gift of discipline. Give yourself the gift of structure. Give yourself the gift of thinking before you act, and then tweak and adjust on a daily or weekly basis. And I promise you, you will become so much more effective. You'll reduce your stress, you'll reduce your anxiety, you'll increase your productivity, and chances are you're going to increase being happier and achieve more of your goals.